going to work on the different types of right-angled triangles. So we've learned the names of the sides of a right-angled triangle, but not all right-angled triangles are the same. So I'm going to bring these little sticks. Here we see I have two green, and they're exactly the same length. These are equal. And I have one that is not equal. You can see this one is longer. So when we learned the sides of our right angle triangle, we learned that the long one, the stretch one, this is the hypotenuse, and these are the legs. So I'm just going to put this here. I want to make sure it's forming a right angle. I can do that visually by looking and making sure they're nice and straight, or I can use my measuring tool, which is always a handy thing. So I have a right angle, I have my two equal legs, and I have my long side or hypotenuse. Because this triangle has two equal sides, we know a triangle with two equal sides is called an isosceles triangle. So the special name for this one is an isosceles right-angled triangle. It's a bit of a mouthful, but you know most of this already, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Isosceles right-angled triangle. And we know isosceles comes from Greek. Isos means balanced or equal, and skelos means legs. And as we said before, if we're lucky, we have two legs, and that helps us remember that an isosceles triangle has two sides that are equal. So this is an isosceles right-angled triangle. So I'm going to bring some different sticks, and we can look at these. They're all different lengths. They're very unequal. There's not two the same. All three are different. They are unequal. And when we were learning about triangles, we learned that a scalene triangle had three sides that were different. They were unequal. And that also comes from Greek. It comes from the Greek skalenos, which means unequal. And I'm going to build that here. Let's start with these two. These are going to be the legs of my scalene triangle. And I want to make sure it's a right angle, so I will put my measuring tool in there and get them nice and straight. And I know to use the longest one for the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the side opposite the right angle. And we're going to put that over there. So this one was an isosceles right angle triangle. It had two sides that were equal, or it was balanced. This one is called a scalene right-angled triangle. Again, a mouthful, but again, you should remember what a scalene triangle is, and you know what a right angle is, so we just put it all together. Scalene right-angled triangle. And that, as we said, also comes from Greek. Skalenos means unequal. So here we have our two kinds of right-angled triangles. We have our pictures that go with them. This one has the legs here in red, and they're both the same size. They're equal. So is this an isosceles right-angled triangle, or is this a scalene right-angled triangle? That's right, it's isosceles. Isos means balanced, and skelos means legs. So this is the one with two sides the same. And the red lines in this one, these legs don't look the same. This leg is longer than this leg. And the hypotenuse here in the black, that's the long one. So our right angle is here in the corner. These are unequal. So do you remember what we call those? Scalene right-angled triangles. And I'm just going to put these cards to the side, and I'm going to use my wooden ones for now. This says, if the legs of a right-angled triangle are equal, the triangle is called, and remember, we're only talking about the legs. The hypotenuse will always be longer. You can't have an equilateral right-angled triangle. You could try and make one, but I'm not so sure you'll succeed. So if the legs are equal, meaning those two legs, we call it an isosceles right-angled triangle, and I'm going to match it there with my triangle. And this one says, if the legs of a right-angled triangle are unequal, the triangle is called, and remember the Greek scalenos, which means unequal. It's a scalene right-angled triangle. So I've matched up my definitions with my triangles. There. The sun has decided to come out, and I'm a little, there we go. So this lesson was about the different types of right-angled triangles. So see if you can practice drawing some or making some. Maybe out of popsicle sticks you could cut them, and remember your hypotenuse is going to have to be much longer. Maybe you could use yarn and glue it on a paper, or you could use pipe cleaners. Use your imagination. Okay? Bye-bye.